And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. Today is the 16th of June. It is a Tuesday. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. You'll have to excuse me if you see me itching my nose a lot tonight. My allergies are out of control. Let's see who's here. Amy, so happy I can catch you live. Good to see you. Caffeinated Christie's here. Flippin' Daddy, also known as Danny. Welcome in. We're gonna just kind of fiddle fart around, as Robert would say, for a couple minutes while we wait for some folks to filter on in. So I don't have to repeat myself at all. Sunday Fun Day is here. I love saying that. Welcome in. We got 13 watching. We'll just wait for a couple more. And you guys, if you ever come in late or you miss a show, you can always watch the replays. I am trying to keep my live shows down to around a half an hour now, so that folks who can't catch it live can just watch a quick 30-minute replay or whatever. Carrie Berry's mom is here. Welcome in. So we're going to talk about yard sales a little bit later this year than normal. I was telling Keith today when I was getting the thumbnail together and StreamYard set up. In the years past, I always did a yard sale video in May, like the beginning of May. And this year it's like halfway through June and I'm finally getting around to talking about yard sales. Of course, I took a month off of YouTube in May, but even then it's a weird year. Very weird. It's 2020 is there's no words for it. So yeah, I just now starting to think about yard sales myself. So we're going to talk about them. Tammy says hi, beyond tired. Yeah, me too. I'm like, I could fall asleep just like right now. Just been a busy couple days. So the first thing you need to do is get this app. Most of you probably already have it because I talk about it all the time when I do videos about yard sales, and Casey talks about it, and I know a lot of resellers have it. It's called the Yard Sale Treasure Map. And of course, that's going to be all blurry. It's this one right here. It's for Apple and Android, so either or device you have, you can get it. Yard Sale Treasure Map is exactly what it's called. It is free to use. They do have a paid version that has some perks to it. I do not use the paid version. I use the free version. It works just fine the way it is. Keith was offered a 7-day trial, I think it was last summer, for the paid version. So we used it for... it might have been for a full month, but we used it for the time that he was given for free, and we didn't really see too many perks with it, like to pay for it. We used it when we had the offer, but we didn't like it enough to continue paying for it. But some people like the paid version. I don't even know how much it costs. I think it starts color coding. Let me pull it up for you and show you what it looks like if you've never seen it. So what it does, it is an app that gathers information from Craigslist, local periodicals, Facebook Marketplace, I believe, but it pulls in information from all these periodicals where people advertise their yard sales, garage sales, flea markets, church sales, estate sales, anywhere that has ads like this. This one app pulls all that information from many different places and puts it into one spot for you, but it's on a map. Oops. It's on a map, and the little dots are your sales. So you're getting information pulled from all over, so you're getting a lot more sales, but they're not just like listed. They're on an actual map with little dots. And I believe the paid version has color-coded dots, like your blues, your estate sales, and church sales might be a different color. They're all red dots for me because, again, I just use the free version. You can scan out, scan in. And then if you wanted to click on, let's say I wanted to see what this one is about, you touch it once, and it pulls it up and gives you more information on the sale. It basically shows you the original listing, like from Craigslist or what have you. There's writing there, but it's not showing up. Anyway, scroll down. It's got all the information there, and then you can map it. There's a map at the bottom, and you can push Google Map. Don't make a liar out of me. It's not working right now, of course. But usually you could just push Google Map down there at the bottom, and it'll pull up your Google Maps on your phone, and then it will map you right to the sale. It has the start time, the dates. It also has additional notes. Like this one says, do not contact me. Sometimes they'll say no early birds or early birds allowed. They have all the pictures and stuff there. So you can look at each individual sale and see what's going on, get all the information. Sometimes they have photos in the map. So this is like the best app out there for any resellers that do like yard selling or sourcing from even estate sales, church sales, flea markets. Those kinds of things show up on this as well, because like I said, it pulls from all the different sources. So it's an invaluable app. Even the free version is really, really good, and it gets you more organized so that you're not just kind of like wandering around looking for yard sales. Tammy went for her first trip to the bins. I'm excited to hear about how that went. Hi, Mary. Robert, my area is terrible. I'm lucky in the best of times to have more than 5. So ours isn't that great either. It never has been. Like this year is going to be definitely something different because this is just a weird year. But we've never really been that lucky with yard sales. And they're usually spaced really far apart. And it's like, do we really want to go and drive 20 minutes for one-off sales where we're probably not going to find anything? So I like to map my route the night before. So that's what we're going to talk about. The best way to get the most out of your yard sales without spending a ton of time, because time is money. When you're a reseller, your time is very, very valuable, and time is money. So you want to spend the least amount of time. You want to spend the least amount of driving, or at least minimize your driving so you're not putting wear and tear on your car, your tires, and spending lots of money on gas. So it is best to plan your route ahead of time. So we look at that map Friday nights and we plan our route just like Daniel says he does. And we get it all planned out. We know exactly where we're going. You can look at that app on your phone and just plan your sales. What we like to do is look for community sales, neighborhood sales, church sales, flea markets, things like that, so that we don't feel like we're wasting a ton of time, like I said, driving all over tarnation. I use the word tarnation. Driving all over the place for these one-offs, and then you might find something, you might not. So we have had the best luck when we look for those community sales, the neighborhood sales, because then you're driving to like one neighborhood and you're hitting mini houses. We are fortunate. Thank you so much for the super chat, Daniel. I appreciate it. $2.99. Little hippo. Look at that little hippo. He's so cute. Okay. So we look for those because it's like, I was saying, we're very fortunate in the fact that when we have neighborhood sales around here or community sales, they really mean like the whole neighborhood. We have some really great ones that actually pop up every year around the same time, and you can drive to one location and park, and you can spend like an hour to 2 hours walking around these huge neighborhoods where the whole community is coming out and having a yard sale. And we only had to drive to one place, and then we had to walk, of course. And we usually end up finding a lot more. You can move your car if you need to along the way. And we also have some pop-up flea markets that show up over the summer. We have some neighborhood sales that actually set up at parks. So it's more like a flea market, but it's really just the people from the neighborhood. All the neighbors come out to like the park that's in the middle of their neighborhood, and they all set up and sell there. So I really like those because you're not getting in the car, driving to a one-off, checking it out, probably not finding anything, getting back in the car, driving another 5 miles or 10 miles down the road to another one-off. We really don't go to very many one-offs anymore. We absolutely look for those community neighborhood sales. I recommend you do it too because they're really great. You can find a lot of stuff there. And the church sales. I love church sales. It's where I get tons of my plush in the summertime. Again, I don't know how this year is going to be, but in the past, I would go to the church sales and just load up on the plush because they're selling them for like a quarter a piece or less. Some churches are like, here, fill this bag for a couple bucks. So I do really like church sales. They're good for a lot of stuff. And a lot of the churches, at least around here, do have the days where you can fill a bag or fill a box for a couple dollars. And then the flea markets, of course. And estate sales are good too. Let's check in. All Things Lorenzo got 115 pounds from the bins. You go. That's awesome. How's everyone's sales today? Ours are good. Too hot in Arizona, but there are sales at the flea market. But I can't even speak English or read. I think I've told you this before. I'm originally born and raised in Tucson. It's where I'm actually from. We used to go to the swap meet. Do they still have the swap meet out there? I mean, I went as a kid. It was up on, Speedway or Wilmot. Nope. Grant Road, maybe. Tanque Verde, maybe. Gosh, it's been so long. But there was a swap meet there, and we used to go there every weekend. I learned how to pick as a kid. I did not see a question about a monkey. I'm not sure where you sent it. Was it on YouTube or messages? If you guys message me on Facebook, I probably won't see it for a year because they never notify me when I get messages. So I always tell people to tag me on Facebook in the group. Join the group if you're not in it. I try to map one-offs in between my bigger sales. Right. So you can plan around. Like if there's a neighborhood sale on the map and then there's another community sale or a really good church sale up here, and there's like one-offs in between, if they're on the route, we'll stop. If one-offs are on the road, on the way, to our neighborhood or church sales, we'll go, but not out of our way. And the thing with church sales, guys, you can actually call churches in your area and ask them when they do their sales. Most churches will have a sale the same weekend or relatively same time of year every year. Some of them will have one at the beginning of the summer and then again at the end, trying to get rid of what they couldn't get rid of at the beginning. So the ones at the end of the summer are actually the best ones to go to because now they're really trying to get rid of the stuff. And that's when they're like, fill your bags up for a couple bucks. But don't be afraid to call the churches in your area and ask them. And then you can put on a calendar somewhere, a bullet journal, a planner in your phone. You can write down all the churches and what days they have their sales. And they'll tell you on the phone too, like come this day, it's senior discounts, come this day, for stuff a bag or whatever. So I don't know how to answer that because I don't know. I have sold a Jamaican monkey before, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know how to answer that. Best idea is probably reach out to Facebook, eBay for Business on Facebook and ask them. I don't want to tell you one way or the other. So yeah, don't drive crazily out of your way. Tanque Verde swap meet. Yep, that's what it's called. The other one on the south side, I've only been to a couple times, but we used to go to the Tanque Verde one all the time. My parents both worked at Tucson Medical Center. So how do you find or contact churches? So the church sales show up on the Yard Sale Treasure Map app. If they've put ads out on Craigslist or anywhere, periodicals, newspapers, anything like that, they'll show up on the app. Other than that, I just go to the white pages, so to speak. I Google churches in my area and I just call them. So I just look them up. But they'll show up on that app too. They do. So moving to Phoenix. I know exactly where you live. I went to Santa Rita High School. Got Willie's Carnival leftovers from Hawaii. All right. Okay. So you want to plan your route ahead of time because you're going to save yourself time and gas and money and wear and tear on your car. And if you plan your route, you're also going to be utilizing your time better. You're kind of like know exactly where you're going. The other thing I suggest is always having cash. Obviously, you always want to have cash with you when you're going yard selling, but you want to pick either a time or an amount of money spent and call it a day at that, whichever one hits first, or if you run out of sales. Obviously, you're not going to keep going. Like we usually take 100 out, and we usually say if we spend $100, we're done. But if it gets to be like 2 p.m. and we're kind of out of sales to go to, we're not going to force ourselves to keep going just for the sake of spending the money, you know? So if we run out of sales or it gets too late in the day and we don't spend our whole budgeted amount, that's fine. Now we have cash out for next weekend. But then there's days where you hit really good stuff right away and it's like 9 a.m. and you're done. We have had days where the shoes, I'm going to talk about the shoes at the end when I talk about haggling. But there was a day when I got out of the car at the first sale and dropped $100 and we were done. So it can happen. But yeah, just make sure you have some cash with you, pick a budget, pick a time, just have some kind of frame of reference for when you want to be done. Now, another thing that we do, we pack a cooler with drinks, snacks, and sandwiches. Now, you can grab lunch while you're out. You can go to a convenience store and buy a bottle of soda or a bottle of water, whatever. But you guys, most of you do know that we are very frugal with our money. We are big fans of Dave Ramsey, and we try not to spend money on stuff like that because it can add up. You're paying $1.79 maybe for a 20-ounce pop soda at the convenience store when we buy 12 packs for like $2.50, $3 all the time on sale, and we could just pack a couple cans in our cooler. Yes, we are very, very frugal. Dave Ramsey has penetrated our brains, and we hear him talk to us whenever we spend money on stuff. You know, we have a date night once a week where we can rent a movie and go out to eat and spend money. But other than that, we try not to. Because it can add up. You know, you don't think about it, but when you stop at the convenience store for your coffees and your drinks, or you go get fast food every Saturday and possibly Sunday too, if you're yard selling all weekend, that money really adds up. So we choose not to. We pack a cooler. We bring our own water and soda. We make sandwiches, just lunch meat sandwiches like from the deli, and we bring chips or whatever, fruit. Fruit's a good snack to pack. We eat like bananas and grapes and stuff. So that's a good way to save money, but you can keep going. So if you didn't want to spend money eating out and you started to get hungry, you might be inclined to quit early, like go home and eat. Whereas if you have drinks and snacks in the car, you're not spending money, but you're also more likely to say, well, we can keep going to the next neighborhood sale or the next church sale I saw on the map because I can eat in the car. So we had 69 cents at our Circle K, but they don't do it anymore. I spent 102 hours on Saturday. Yeah, that Harley Davidson was awesome. That was an awesome lot. Packed lunch. Yep. We always pack a lunch. Mary McQueen will be on Dave Ramsey on July 2nd. That's awesome. I'm so excited and jealous of you. I absolutely love Dave Ramsey. That's so cool. Going with a team of 2 is great. Separate. Yes. I love going on the team to yard sales and the thrift stores because Keith and I have We each have our own particular strengths and things that we are attracted to and know about and like to list. And so we can split up everywhere we go and get stuff done quick. Dave Ramsey is absolutely the man. I have one of his books somewhere. I was going to give it away, and then it went upstairs and it got put in a pile. I need to find it. I might need help with my stage fright. I'm just jealous you get to talk to him. I'm cheap and proud to say it. I like to call it frugal, minimalistic and frugal. It just, that's the way I was raised. And then I'm a really big follower of Dave Ramsey's way. So, I always bring a little cart with me or the little wagon that folds up. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Because you can walk around the whole neighborhood and just keep filling up your cart or your wagon. That's really a good idea. Sometimes the seller gets deflated, and the second person gets a better price. Sometimes, yeah. I always have bags. I don't bring plastic bags. We have a bag of bags like these. You can hear it. I can't pull it over here. But you know, like those canvas reusable Aldi's bags or grocery sacks, I have accumulated so many of them over time. So I have a bag of bags and it stays in our trunk all summer. And every time we go back to the car, we can kind of organize our stuff in the trunk and the bags the way we want it to be brought in. So we keep a bag of bags. So that's another tip too. Keep a bag of bags, pack a lunch, plan your route, have cash on you. And for everything, for the love of everything that's holy, get one of these, guys. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're really only going to need this if you get audited, but it's good to have it. Because you can claim everything you buy at yard sales on your taxes as goods or cost of goods, right? And if you were to get audited and you had to prove anything, you need to have receipts. They do not have to be detailed. You do not have to have the person at the yard sale sign them or approve. No, it can be as simple as neighborhood yard sale on Maple Street, 20 items, $20. And then the next one can say neighborhood sale on Elm Street, 2 items, $15. It doesn't have to be 1000% detailed. You don't have to have the exact address of the house you bought it from. You can have the street name, neighborhood sale, church sale, name of the church. Nobody has to sign it or approve it. The seller doesn't have to do anything. You just need to keep track of how many items you bought and how much you spent and where. And that way, if you ever did get audited, you've got they'll accept these. The IRS will accept these as receipts for your yard sale purchases, your cost of goods. And it's also good for you at the end of the year because then you can just go through your receipts, or you should be doing it more than once a year. Don't be me. Don't put your taxes off until the night before. Do it once a week, twice a week. Keep up on your stuff, put your receipts in. But you can keep one of these in your car, and you can also keep track of your mileage. We have the GoDaddy app on our phone because we use the bookkeeping by GoDaddy. And if you use QuickBooks, they have an app for your phone as well for your mileage. But back in the day, a couple years ago, I used to just write on the mileage on this cover here in the back cover. And so I had all my mileage and my receipts together. And I always keep one of these in my purse and one in the glove box. In the summertime, I make sure I've always got one in my purse and one in the glove box. You can get multi-packs. You can see this was a 10-pack. They're relatively inexpensive at Walmart. We actually found our 10-pack at the bins, believe it or not, like 3 years ago. And we're still working our way through it. It was open. 1 pack was missing. So we got 9 packs, but we paid by weight. So anyway, go ahead and get a big old pack of these. Keep them on you. Use these for your estate sales, your church sales, your yard sales, your garage sales. Auction houses sometimes don't always give receipts. You can keep your auction purchases in here. Just anywhere where you're not getting an actual receipt, fill these out. I'm going to go up here and catch up on the comments real quick. The baby steps have changed our lives. Yes, I absolutely. Oh, hey, Kelly's here. She says, I'm awesome. Thank you. That's so cool. We will be debt free. I need to get one of those receipt books. Yeah, you can get them at Walmart. They're so cheap. Top tip is to write receipts and keep these records. Yep. No, you don't have to get them signed. I'm not gonna bother this is just my personal opinion though. I would think it would be annoying if I was trying to have a yard sale and somebody was trying to get me to sell a receipt. Plus you're outing yourself as a reseller when you do that. And not everyone is reseller friendly. I can tell you some horror stories. A lot of yard sales around here, people don't want to know if you're a reseller. And if they find out, they can be pretty hateful. So I really don't get them to sign my receipts. They don't need to do that. Yeah, we just started her Saturday. Our taxes. Yep. We got about a month. I thought I heard Star's phone cha-ching. No, mine's been pretty quiet. I did sell a pair of $90 Jinko jeans today, though. The second pair. If you saw the first pair in my What Sold video. Yeah, the receipt books. So here comes the train, of course. The receipt books are also dollar stores. Okay, so I'm getting close to the half-hour mark, so let me get on to the next point. I want to kind of talk about the things you should be looking for when you're at yard sales. This is just a quick list, guys. This is by no means all-inclusive of everything you should be looking for. Of course, yard sales can be an absolute treasure trove. You can find so many cool, unique, vintage, money-worthy things at yard sales. So you just want to keep your eyes peeled and kind of know what you're looking for. If you're new to reselling, guys, go through the solds. That's what I can recommend. Go through the solds on your eBay apps. Look through there, see what's selling, see what kind of categories you're interested in. If you want to be looking for vintage video games or board games, look through the solds and then you know what you're looking for. But yard sales absolutely can be hit or miss. You can have a day where you go out and you spend $100 in a couple hours and you come home with thousands of dollars worth of stuff that's going to flip fast. And then there's days where you're out for hours and on end and you hardly spend any money and you don't find anything. But you absolutely should be keeping your eyes peeled at the yard sales for all these things plus more, because this is not an all-inclusive list. We would be here all night if I told you everything you could find. But you definitely want to be looking for video games, video game consoles, small electronics, vintage board games, collectibles, things like Disney, Looney Tunes. You want to find the figurines. I had a Sylvester glass bowl once that sold for a lot of money. But look for things that you think people would collect or people would spend money for. A lot of yard sales will have new with tag clothing. Sometimes people shop a lot and they just have a ton of clothing and they clean out their closet and they'll have new with tags clothing, or maybe they gained weight, or maybe they lost weight and they just have all this extra clothing. You can find some yard sales with just tons of new with tags clothing. People just get rid of. I actually had a friend, she had a shopping problem, and once a year she'd clean out her closet and she would pull stuff out she never wore. So look for that. Shoes and handbags. You can find really good deals on like the Dooney and Burks, the Kate Spades, if you know how to authenticate them, of course. Most people know shoes or sneakerheads. You guys know what you're looking for. You want to look for card games. Now, those are going to be bread and butter and filler items. Card games are not going to net you a whole crap ton of money. But you can usually pick up a deck of Uno cards for $25. List them for $12, free ship, and they'll sell within a day or two. I kid you not. All summer long, we pick up HIPPO, Uno, Rummyken, Goldfish, the Disney Princess. They'll have like specialty card games for kids, things like that. We'll get them for like 10 cents or a quarter at the yard sales. List them for like $12, $14, free ship. They sell within a couple of days. They literally fly out the door. So they're not going to net you big money, but when you can take a quarter and turn it into $12 pretty much overnight, I will always pick up card games. Of course, Plush. I see somebody mentioned it. Plush. I cannot stress to you how much of my plush is found at yard sales, and church sales. And then, of course, toys. Let me get a drink. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, a super chat. Thank you so much. Another one for $4.99. Thank you, Daniel. And another hippo. How cute. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So plush, toys, you guys, Christmas houses. I don't know if any of you remember, but last summer I came home, I bought that whole lot of the Dickens, Charles Dickens, and Department 54, Department 54, Department 59, Department something. The Christmas houses people build their Christmas villages with, grab them. I got like 17 of them for like $17. And most of the larger ones sold for $40 plus shipping. So grab those Christmas houses. People are getting rid of them. Books, if you know your books. I don't really look at books because I don't really know which ones are worth money. But if you know your books, look for books. Like first editions and all that stuff. And then ties. People get rid of ties. Department 56, thank you so much. Look for those. And then ties. And then I want to end this on talking about not being afraid to haggle. Now, don't be that guy. Don't be that person that wants to haggle every single freaking item. Those people are annoying. They're annoying to me, and I'm a reseller. Don't grab every single item and try to get it for $1 and talk people down. When I say don't be afraid to haggle, I mean don't be afraid to go big or go home. So if you walk into a yard sale and they have a bucket of like 100 plush, right? And they have a sign that they want $1 per plush. Don't be afraid to tell them, what if I bought this whole bin? Could I have them for 50 cents a piece? If I bought them all, could I have them for 50 cents? Layden Miller, $2 super chat, Department 56. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Or if they have a big old box of ties, ask them, if I bought all these, could I have them for $0.25 a piece, 50 cents a piece? That's what I mean when I say don't be afraid to haggle. Some of the best deals I've ever gotten at yard sales were from me doing that. And that's why I say it's the best place for me to find plush. Because I will go up to a person and say, I want all your plush. And they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, but there's like 200 of them there. And I'm like, yeah, would you take like 100 for them? And they're willing to do it because people, they want to get rid of this stuff. These people want to get rid of this stuff. Trust me, they do not want at the end of the day to have to pack all this crap up and put it back in their house. They want to get rid of it. They want it to be gone. At the end of the day, they want to have money and nothing that they're bringing back inside. And they will usually cut you a really, really good deal if they know they can get rid of all of something really quick. Instead of trying to sell one animal at a time, if you're willing to buy all of them, they're going to be like, sure, here, give me $50, take them all off my hands. That's how I get so many plush in the summer. I literally just ask them. I don't look at them. I don't pick through them. I'm just like, if you think you have 100 there, can I give you $50 for them? Or, $30, whatever. I'll haggle a little bit. Super chat from Greg Stewart, $3. Thank you so much. And another little hippo. Those little hippo stickers are certainly cute. I think I saw Danny say something about it. The hippo stickers, yeah, they're certainly super cute. Tip, making complete series with books will sell very well. Harry Potter series of unfortunate events. Yes, with the exception of Twilight. Nobody wants Twilight. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. Lost train of thought. Okay. So that's how I get all the plush in the summer. But last year, we were talking about the shoes I mentioned earlier. Within, the first 5 minutes of being out yard selling, I dropped $100. This woman had 2 tables full of shoes. One was just kind of regular, run-of-the-mill, strappy sandals and heels, like bread and butter shoes. And then she had a table full of those Dancos, the nursing clogs. And I'm not really that familiar with shoes, but even those I knew they were money. One pair of those shoes sold on Poshmark for $75. They were a nice, shiny, like an animal print, if I remember. They were like patent leather, very pretty. And they said on the sole, limited edition, they were some kind of special edition. But every single pair of those Dancos, those nursing clogs, when you turn them over and looked at the bottoms, they hadn't even been worn. I could tell they were like really new. And anyway, I went up to the lady and I said, I want to buy both tables, all the shoes, all of them. There was like 20, 25 pairs. But we worked out a deal, and she did tell me she would buy, she was a nurse, and she would just keep buying all these nursing clogs, and she would never wear them. She just bought them because she liked them, but she never wore them. So most of them went for about $50, $40, but a couple of them went for $75 and $60, I believe, and then the rest were just filler. So I bought both tables full of shoes. I think she gave them to me like $2 a pair for the regular ones and like $5 for the Dancos. That's a really good story. And then the ties. So this one time, this lady had these like they look like bakery boxes out on a table, and they were just full of ties, and they were really decent brands and nice looking prints. She didn't have a sign on it or anything. So I said, well, what are you asking for your ties? And she's like, I don't know. What do you think's fair? I said, well, what if I buy both boxes from you? She's like, all of them? I'm going to have to count them. So she stood there and counted them, and she gave them to me for $0.25 a piece. And it was like so many ties. It was like half our money for the day. Most of those have already sold too, because they were really nice ties. So don't be afraid to do that. $75 shoes, Robert. But yeah, don't be afraid to just go up and be like, if they have a whole rack of new with tags clothing and they have a sign that says they want $4 a piece, offer to buy all of it for $2 a piece. Because again, these people don't want to bring this stuff back inside. They really want to get rid of it. And they're willing to cut you a deal if you're willing to take it all off their hands. So don't be afraid to do that, guys. And hear my voice in your head telling you to do it. And don't be afraid, because they do want to get rid of their stuff. They really do. So that's everything I have to say. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you, Pamela, so much. And thank you so much to Greg and to Danny. I'm trying to move my mouse here. To Daniel, Layden, and Greg, thank you guys so much for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Really helps the channel, helps me do what I do here. And yeah, hit the thumbs up. If you're not in my Facebook group, you should be. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Links down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit the little bell so you're notified when I put out new content. And Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, you can find me at Flippin' Hippos. And if you want to email, it's flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. I'm going to read one more comment before I let you guys go. Greg says, I remember when you found the Dancos, that's what made me realize they were a bolo. The more color and prettier, the better. Yep. They have Mary Jane styles and shiny ones. So keep your eyes peeled for that. A lot of nurses do get to where they have a lot of shoes, or maybe they're getting out of the profession, and they'll sell their Dancos at yard sales very affordably. And you can flip them for big money. All right, guys, until next time, go be productive, go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your time with me tonight. I appreciate you guys so much. And again, thank you for the super chats. You guys are all the best. Bye.